North Carolina lawmakers are one step closer now to passing what they call the Criminal Illegal Alien Enforcement Act. Now, we told you about the proposed legislation in our most recent WRAL documentary, Crossing Borders, Immigration and Division in North Carolina. It premiered last week. As WRAL investigative documentary reporter Cristin Severance explains, this policy has been in the works for years.
House Bill 318, or the Criminal Illegal Alien Enforcement Act, passed the North Carolina House this week. It would force sheriffs to notify ICE 2 hours before releasing migrants with a detainer. We told you in Crossing Borders, Immigration and Division in North Carolina, House Speaker Destin Hall sponsored the legislation. Hall sponsored House Bill 10, which passed last year, requiring sheriffs to work with ICE. He then introduced House Bill 318. He said not all sheriffs were notifying ICE before releasing inmates because it was not specifically written that way in House Bill 10, including Mecklenburg Sheriff Gary McFadden. McFadden has said on record he was not notifying ICE before releasing immigrants.
And they're playing games with public safety of the people of the state by not cooperating with ICE.
McFadden has a history of clashing with authorities over immigration enforcement.
So I would say that a lot of the seeds of what we're seeing today were planted in 2019.
Nikki Marine Baena is an advocate with Siembra NC.
In 2018, across North Carolina, there were progressive black sheriffs elected in many of the major counties. So Mecklenburg, Wake, Durham. And many of those sheriffs ended their 287G agreements, their agreements to collaborate with ICE. Most publicly, Sheriff McFadden in Mecklenburg County.
287G is a program that allows local law enforcement agencies to work with ICE to enforce immigration laws.
And so in 2019, ICE came to North Carolina and did what we call community arrest, which means they were directly detaining people outside of their homes, outside of their workplaces. It was one of the biggest operations we've ever seen. It was close to 300 people in 10 days. And they basically said, we are doing this because McFadden is releasing criminals back into the community. And they would put up billboards in Mecklenburg County with pictures of immigrant criminals that McFadden had released back into the community. And so a lot of what we're seeing now, this kind of message about migrant crime, for me, that was when I think that they were really starting to work with that here in North Carolina.
Marine Baena believes messaging about migrant crimes grew into what we're seeing now. President Trump and his administration are calling for people to self-deport and for mass deportations.
If what you're saying is we're going to deport all of the criminals, we're going to deport all of these people who are doing bad stuff in our communities, who's going to say that they don't want that? You know, what I know, because I've been doing this work for a long time, is that they're not going to stick to just the violent criminals. That's not how you get the kinds of numbers that you want to be able to boast about.
Lawmakers say North Carolinians want immigration enforcement. Last year, ahead of the 2024 elections, a WRAL news poll found that only 12% of North Carolina voters thought U.S. immigration policy should remain the same or become less strict.
If you're here illegally and you're committing crimes in our state, you got to go. And that's what we're going to make sure the policy of this state is clear on.
You can watch Crossing Borders, Immigration and Division in North Carolina on WRAL.com or WRAL's YouTube page. I'm WRAL documentary reporter Cristin Severance.